But when they
society, colloquial referred to as the deep state, the shadow government, and the swamp. The operatives perform with a hive mind because they are guilty of treason, a crime punishable by death. They are desperate to hide their complicity, and thus they systematically target, demonize, and even suicide all those who threaten to expose their treachery and malfeasance. 29. The operatives of U.S. Corp favor unbridled immigration because it is the most expedient way to destroy a country from within, flooding America with illegal immigrants without allowing them time to assimilate ensures arrogance, separation, and anti-Americanism, and anger, animosity, and conflict with the people. By design, we can also expect a steady dilution of the principles, ethics, and systems that made America successful. Moreover, the majority of illegal immigrants are likely to vote for Democrats, who legislate according to the will of the foreign owners of the U.S. 31. In conjunction with skewed statistics, deceptive polls, false facts, and the omission of decisive information, the owners of U.S. Corp promote anti-Americanism and their New World Order agenda. Fake news keeps the people disoriented, misinformed, divided over ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religion, and economic class. Meanwhile, their debt system enslaves us. Their grip ever tightens through surveillance and fluoridation. Vaccinations and other technologies are deployed to weaken any substantive opposition. 32. The owners of U.S. Corp are working incessantly to disarm the millions of law-abiding patriots who will stand in the way of their totalitarian, oppressive New World Order. By way of orchestrated mass shootings, the owners of U.S. Corp will continue to terrorize the people until we assent to comprehensive background checks. The word comprehensive is nebulous and undefined, allowing for a battery of psychological and medical testing ever expanding until targeted individuals are deemed emotionally unstable and a danger to society. True to the predictions of every futuristic book and movie, patriotic Americans will be disarmed by way of political profiling under the guise of screening for mental health. 33. Through their vast indoctrination machine, the foreign owners of U.S. Corp have convinced the people that America is a democracy and that democracy is the highest form of government. This is problematic because democracy is, by definition, mob rule. Democracies invariably fail because the majority mob always demands more and more public monies and services procured through excessive taxation, socialist-like policies, resulting in economic ruin, runaway, and ultimately fiscal collapse, and ultimately social implosion, opening the door for the promised, predicted, dreadful, and ever-looming New World Order. Because sovereignty is not sustainable without exposing ills of democracy and reestablishing our elevated constitutional republic, we are compelled to make the following proclamations. A. The word democracy does not appear anywhere in America's founding documents because the framers knew that democracy in any form or disguise is fatally flawed, leading invariably to oppression, societal failure, violence, and death. B. All modern forms of government are elected democratically. They are differentiated only by who makes the decisions after elections are over. C. In a democracy, citizens in the majority make the rules, leaving those in the minority oppressed. Consequently, a democracy is always noisy, divisive, divided, ineffective, inefficient, unsteady, combustible, fiscally irresponsible, and short-lived. D. America was established as a constitutional republic to avoid the many ills of democracy. In a constitutional republic, those elected must not do the bidding of the citizen majority. Rather, they must do what is best for the district or state, despite the majority will. In this way, all citizens are represented equally, and no one is oppressed, making a constitutional republic quiet, steady, efficient, and preferred. E. Although the word democracy feels good, it is founded on mob rule, making it akin to socialism, communism, and every other tyrannical form of government. Finally, Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution resolves any doubt. The United States shall guarantee every state in this union a republican form of government. Having exposed the greatest heist and cover-up in history, we are able to summarize America and its assets very quietly hijacked, and the cover-up has resulted in unthinkable crimes against the people and humanity. Allowing the hostile takeover to stand will lead eventually to complete and irreversible subrogation and the eradication of truth, justice, and all that is good. This second Declaration of Independence distinguishes the United States of America from the subversive United States Corporation. Its assets, that U.S. Corp was formed illegally, that it is a foreign-owned, and that its shareholders have been quietly at war with America for over 150 years. Treasonous operatives embedded within government and that fiercely divide the citizenry and facilitate conflict among the nations to hide that U.S. Corp is, and always has been, the only real enemy of America. This second Declaration of Independence also repudiates with conviction U.S. Corp's satanically inspired plan for world governance. In addition of being of, by, and for the elite and not the people, their falsely advertised pseudo-utopian, unelected totalitarian New World Order would supplant America's sovereignty and extinguish forever any semblance of liberty and prosperity. Because natural inclinations predispose human beings to be short-sighted, malleable, and easily bamboozled, one might presume the American people should bear responsibility for being swindled out of their homeland, inherited from their forefathers, who procured and secured it at great expense and much sacrifice, and for slowly but steadily trading their largely unappreciated blessings of liberty, opportunity, and prosperity for trinkets in the form of unearned comforts, frivolous indulgence, and glutinous pleasures. However, the transfer of ownership from the American people was not conducted openly and with candor, but clandestinely through calculated design and nefarious means, without body consent and unconstitutionally. It is for the latter reason that the American people claim their right to rectification. That the greatest heist in history was effected outside the constraints of the U.S. Constitution, and that those who were elected to represent America's best interests transgressed their fiduciary responsibility and exceeded their authority, warrants this proclamation that the American people are the rightful owners of our land, our labor, our well-being, our future, and our children, for our benefit and the benefit of our posterity. As with any negotiated peace after years of atrocities committed by parties at war, we seek neither vengeance nor demand justice for past transgressions. We simply adjure the return of what rightfully belongs to the people and avow firmly, emphatically, publicly, and officially that America shall forever remain a sovereign nation, free, self-directed, and not affiliated or dependent upon any version or variation of the present planned or innovated New World Order. We entreat a bloodless solution wherein you seize all destructive activities, including false flag events, dissolve U.S. Corp. And all other illicit legal structures and custodial instruments, return our land and assets, including our gold and silver, redirect the tax collected on our labor back to America, and have your deep state and shadow government operatives retire, withdrawing your influence in an orderly fashion so society continues to thrive in trade for your keeping, your wealth, your position, and your heads. In response to questions regarding legitimacy, efficiency, and process, throwing off the shackles of our national thraldom is elementary and unambiguous, as evidenced by the separation of the 13 colonies from Britain in 1776 and the Mexican people from Spain in 1825. A formal declaration hailed by authorized representatives procures independence that is immediate, whole, consummate, infrangible, and unencumbered by obligation, condition, or imposition. As we enter grievous territory, we reflect on the precarious road our forefathers forged when they judiciously served the political and familial ties that bound them. Our hearts also are filled with melancholy and trepidation. Yet we too are resolute in our posture and position from being confronted with no better option. Despite the manifest peril, the consequences of acquiescence are graver still, compelling us to claim solemnly our independence once again. So in support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. The 56 signatories of the task force are to be affixed at the time of presentation to Congress, the President, and 50 legislatures, and the governors of the respective states. Academia